The beat continued, unwavering and persistent. A woman's voice, filled with longing, calling out his name as if it were a sacred chant, the faint sounds of movement echoing through the walls, again and again, in flawless sync. I found myself captivated, pondering the sensations and the actions that unfolded in those tales. Last night, I found myself among them, and the possibility of stepping back into that world is still within my reach. Just a simple knock was all that was needed. Before we embark on this journey, take a moment to show your support by liking the video and subscribing. It's a simple act that flows easily and contributes to the channel in ways you might not realize. Your support means a lot to me. Once upon a time, we shall embark on our journey. It began with a whisper, soft, unwavering, assured. Then a woman's response, gentle and filled with a sense of wonder. The words eluded me, yet the thrill in her voice was unmistakable. Then emerged a sudden outburst, emotional and raw, cut through the silence. The headboard met the wall, initially with a gentle touch, then quickening, matching the cadence of her breaths. Without a moment's doubt, without any discomfort, simply an abundance of blissful delight. I remained still, my breath light, warmth weaving its way through my being. This was anything but ordinary. I had caught snippets of conversations from neighbors before, fleeting and easily dismissed. Yet this was a different tale altogether, unfolding night after night. Various voices, diverse women, yet the same urgent, uncontainable echoes. I turned away, trying to quiet my thoughts and steady my breath, feeling my heart race unpredictably. I ought to have silenced it. However, I chose not to. I absorbed the sounds, and with each breath that escaped through the fragile barriers, a singular idea ignited fiercely in my thoughts. What was happening to them, and why did I suddenly long for that experience myself? During the daylight hours, he blended into the background, reserved, introspective, always remaining in the background. Yet as darkness fell and the walls whispered secrets of delight, he transformed into a different being altogether. Our encounters were few and far between, just a handful of moments shared. With a commanding presence, he stands tall and broad-shouldered, exuding an air of effortless composure. In his mid-50s, he possessed a commanding presence that set him apart from younger men. Women would come and go, yet they always departed with a lingering gaze. Transformed, I made an effort to look away as our paths intertwined, yet I observed it all. He glided through the space, each step deliberate and confident, as if he were weaving a narrative with his presence. His voice was soft and measured, each word carefully chosen as if it held great significance. And, above all, the way he gazed at others, as if he was privy to their hidden truths. I convinced myself that I wasn't fixated, yet deep down, I knew I was. And then, on a fateful night, I rounded the corner and almost collided with him. In his presence, there was an aroma of freshness, warmth, and luxury. He stood his ground, locking eyes with me, a playful grin dancing on his lips. Fragile barriers, my breath caught in my throat. He understood. His smirk hung in the air, a silent invitation, yet he chose to move on without a word. He strolled by, each step measured and intentional, as if he were part of a tale unfolding in slow motion. I stood still, gripping my keys tightly, my heart racing in my throat. Whispers traveled through the air, just a pair of words, and they revealed it all. He understood. He had been aware for some time. I took a deep breath, masking the impact it had on me, imagining I wasn't engulfed in shame. And there's more to share. As I reached for my door to unlock it, I suddenly noticed something intriguing. A fleeting look back, a sly grin, as if he anticipated my next words. I did not. I found myself trapped within, my back pressed firmly against the door, my heart pounding in my chest. It was one experience to hear, yet another to find oneself ensnared. Yet, at this moment, he could no longer be overlooked. As darkness fell once more, the familiar sounds began to echo through the night. Yet there was a sense of change within them now. Amplify your voice, more refined. Or perhaps I was simply tuning in more closely. The woman's moans pierced the stillness, filled with longing, urgency, and a sense of despair. The persistent beat against the wall echoed through the silence, telling a tale of its own. I pressed my thighs together, my breath coming in quick bursts, a warmth coiling deep within me. Had he always possessed this level of intensity? Was this meant for me? I pivoted, my hand gently resting on the wall. My body ignites with fire. Uneasy, I envisioned him waiting just beyond the veil, his form intertwined with hers. His voice, deep and authoritative, whispered secrets just beyond my grasp. I found myself overwhelmed by a rush of feelings I couldn't explain. A vivid wave of emotion washed over me as I imagined myself in her place, sinking with the rhythm against the wall. It was simple to weave a facade. It's effortless to envision myself in that moment, feeling his hands on me, imagining his presence and the words that lingered in the quiet. The woman let out a cry, a sound filled with pain and fragility. I stifled a sound of pleasure against my wrist. The warmth surged rapidly, the tension overwhelming. A surge of emotion gripped me, leaving me breathless and dazed. I bit my lip, shivering, breathless, my heart racing in my ears, and yet, even as I found a moment of ease, the longing within me remained unyielding. The time for waiting had come to an end. I needed to uncover the truth. Tomorrow, I will embark on a journey. All day, a vibrant energy pulsed through me, building a sense of excitement that was hard to ignore. I felt completely at ease. I was prepared. With each sound of a door closing and the echo of footsteps in the hallway, my mind would drift to thoughts of him. If he had been pondering my existence as I had been pondering his, whether he was anticipating my next step or if he was already aware that I would take it. As the evening approached, I felt a calmness settle within me. I have reached a conclusion. As I emerged, he did too, as if destiny had orchestrated this very moment for our paths to cross. He took a moment, his eyes locking onto mine with a playful glint. In just 2 days, he pondered. Are you certain you're not trailing behind me? A mischievous smile danced upon my lips. Would that trouble you? His smirk grew more pronounced. It all hinges on what you aim to achieve. I leaned in a bit, locking eyes with him. As I pondered our proximity, it struck me that we might enjoy sharing a meal together one evening. Discover the depths of one another's experiences. A moment of stillness, without a moment's pause. Computation. He was interpreting my thoughts, measuring my expressions, determining whether I truly grasped the essence of my inquiry. Then a subtle acknowledgement. Tomorrow at my place, I have some tales to share. He remained silent. He shared his tale with me. A flicker ignited within, warmth coiling deep in my core. That sounds just right. I took my first step, moving forward without glancing over my shoulder. However, that wasn't necessary. His gaze lingered on me throughout the journey. Once the sun rises on the morrow. As I approached, I noticed his door was already ajar, inviting me into the unfolding scene within. Not expansive, merely sufficient to convey that he had been anticipating my arrival. He lingered in the doorway, propped against the frame, observing me with that familiar, enigmatic smirk. It was as if he understood the very reason for my presence, as if he had been aware from the very beginning. Just as expected, he remarked, moving aside to welcome me in. The apartment unfolded just as I had envisioned it, simple, sleek, and seamless. Clear and focused, like a man who carefully curated every aspect of his existence, allowing only what he truly desired to enter his world. The aroma of something savory and expertly prepared wafted through the atmosphere. Perhaps a steak, a man skilled in the art of nourishing a woman before indulging in her essence. I playfully remarked as I strolled by him, "You're the one who cooks. I enjoy having the power to choose what I take in." His voice flowed like a gentle stream, each word carefully chosen and crafted. Do you not? My heart raced, but I kept my composure. Not at this moment. I settled into the cozy dining table, crossing my legs with a deliberate ease, my gaze fixed on him as he poured the wine with a graceful flourish. He moved with a calm assurance, each action deliberate, fully embracing the essence of the experience. So share with me, he said, placing a glass before me. Do you often find yourself intrigued by the lives of those living nearby? I allowed my fingers to glide along the edge of the glass, tilting my head just a bit. Only those that sparked genuine intrigue. A flicker of mirth danced across his lips. So, what was it that piqued your interest? I savored the wine, letting the moment linger as I locked eyes with him across the glass. The manner in which you portray women. In that moment, he hesitated, if only for the briefest instant. His gaze deepened, the playful curve of his lips transforming into a more menacing expression. And how can I bring them to life? Shattered, adored, utterly transformed. I kept my thoughts to myself and let a smile speak for me. Joyful? He released a soft laugh, swirling his wine with a hint of mischief in his eyes. It's nice to see that my story has made its way ahead of me. I let out a soft hum, savoring another sip. It's difficult to overlook. From that moment on, the air was thick with silence. There's no necessity for that. The atmosphere surrounding us was charged with an unspoken tension. He savored each bite, his eyes darting to me intermittently, as if gauging my endurance in this silent game. I stood my ground, keeping him in suspense, letting him earn his way. As I savored the final drop of wine and placed the glass on the table, he rose to his feet. Gather around. 2 words, a directive, clear and concise. Heat surged through me as I stood up, my heart racing when he took my hand and guided me toward the bedroom. I moved forward without a second thought. I had no desire to. The bedroom was softly illuminated, with the fragrance of his cologne hanging in the atmosphere. Every detail of the space unfolded with purpose, mirroring his own deliberate nature. He shut the door behind me with a casual flick of his wrist, yet his gaze was anything but casual. It was intense, as if he were fully aware of the unfolding narrative that lay ahead. Before I could fully grasp the intensity of his stare, he was already in motion. In that instant, I found myself rooted in place, a pulse of excitement coursing through me. In the following moment, his hands found their place on me, strong, unwavering, and purposeful. He led me back, his hold a wordless cue, his touch assured yet leisurely. He wasn't merely guiding me, he was asserting his ownership over me. As soon as the backs of my knees met the bed, he held back. He remained still, his gaze fixed on me, patiently anticipating my choice about how this would unfold. As I took my seat, it was as if the stage was set, and he felt free to step into the narrative. In a heartbeat, our lips collided, decisive, unwavering, and fully embracing. The kiss unfolded gently, a slow and intentional revelation. He took his time, allowing me to savor each moment as if he wished for me to grasp without uttering a single word that he held the reins. His hands moved down, holding my hips as he gently laid me back, his weight settling over me, grounding me to the mattress. Steady and reliable, my body was ablaze with anticipation, restless and eager, yet he took his time, unhurried and calm. He desired to see me writhe for it. His lips created a warm path along my neck, the texture of his stubble adding a rugged sensation against my skin. Every glance, every movement felt purposeful and intense, felt intentional, as if he were charting my contours, discovering the perfect places to pause, the exact moments to unravel me. In that moment, he turned the tables on me. It flowed naturally. In an instant, I found myself beneath him, and then, without warning, I was on my stomach, his hands firmly holding my hips, lifting me just enough to create a beautiful arch in my back. "Remain where you are," he whispered, his tone imbued with a subtle command. Heat enveloped me, my breath faltering as his hands glided down my spine, deliberate and tantalizing. He wasn't merely making contact, he was guiding my every motion. His grip was steady yet relaxed, shifting my position with a skill that left me feeling dizzy. As he finally made his move, the initial strike took my breath away. His hold became firmer, fingers pressing into my waist as he established the rhythm. It begins with a gentle pace. It dragged on with such excruciating slowness that my nails dug into the sheets, curling in response. But then, just when I believed I had found my footing, he shifted the ground beneath me. He shifted his perspective, tightened his hold, and guided my every motion with precision. And in an instant, it transformed from merely good to utterly heartbreaking. With each shift, I found myself immersed in a world of feeling, his dominance unwavering. It was as if he had an innate sense of timing, knowing precisely when to ease off, when to intensify, and when to leave me yearning for just a little bit more. I let out a sound before I could hold it back. "That's it," he whispered, his voice thick with contentment. "Share your tales with me." He shifted once more, a subtle movement, a change in dimension, and my being fractured. I inhaled sharply, my fingers clutching the fabric tightly, my body responding as waves of ecstasy surged within me, neither tender nor mild, a piercing, relentless surge. He sensed the moment my body tightened in response to him. I could sense the tightness in my grip, the quiver in my legs. Yet his tale was far from over. Just as I was catching my breath, he turned the tables on me once more, drawing closer with the certainty of someone who understood every moment to extract every ounce of ecstasy from the moment. Now he was eager to witness the unfolding events. He loomed over me. He gently took my hands, guiding the connection between USD. Not ensnaring me, but keeping me precisely in the place he desired. His eyes danced across my face, capturing each response, each breathless sigh. And then he shifted once more, deliberate and measured, fully commanding the moment. My body began to tense once more, the pressure escalating with alarming speed and intensity. He moved with unwavering determination, his hold steadfast and unyielding. He pursued me with an unyielding determination, his grip steady as he sought my next revelation. He observed as I crumbled under his gaze, relentless in his pursuit until I surrendered it all. As the second wave approached, it was overwhelming and all-consuming. My breath hitched, my body coiled with tension, my head arching back as an overwhelming rush of feeling swept through my body, leaving me trembling beneath him. It was an experience unlike any other, a sensation I had never encountered before. As he ascended to his highest point, a subtle fissure in his control allowed me to sense the unrefined essence lying just beneath the surface. His groan resonated deeply, a raw sound that echoed through the air, his fingers gripping my wrists with an intensity that lingered until he finally released me. For what felt like an eternity, we remained still, caught in the silence of the moment. The atmosphere was thick with the rhythm of our breaths, each inhale and exhale echoing in the silence. His fingers glided down my arm, slow and languid, as if savoring the echoes of what had just transpired. I found myself quaking, acutely aware, my brain utterly exhausted. I had never felt this broken. And then, at last, a soft chuckle escaped him. Content, at peace. With a whisper, he leaned closer, his lips grazing my ear, igniting a spark of intrigue. Did it unfold as you had envisioned? I released a deep, contented sigh, my body utterly exhausted, utterly fulfilled. A subtle, satisfied smile danced across my lips. Improved. That initial experience should have sufficed. Yet, it turned out otherwise. On the following evening, the sound returned to my ears. The familiar cadence, the echoing wails, the intense ecstasy seeping through the barriers. Yet on this occasion, it brought me a sense of calm. It didn't stir within me a deep sense of wonder or exasperation. In that moment, clarity washed over me. I had experienced it firsthand. I was one of them, and I could become that once more, whenever I wished. Just a simple knock was all that was needed. As I rested in bed, the lingering aroma of him enveloped my sheets, my skin still tingling from the previous night's embrace. A lingering warmth remained with me from the night before, but from a deep sense of fulfillment, profound, inescapable, total. And yet, my mind was already wandering to the next chapter. I rolled onto my side, my hand resting against the wall. The cadence from the neighboring space was constant, unwavering. I could envision it vividly. His movements were captivating. Each moment he commanded felt electric, and he had a unique ability to unravel a woman only to mend her soul in an instant. The woman on the other side inhaled sharply, her voice trembling with urgency and longing. I couldn't help but grin. That had been my experience just the night before, and who knows, it might just happen again tomorrow. The uncertainty faded away. I was a part of that realm now. All it took was a simple knock. Every man possesses a unique tale that captivates a woman's heart. Some refer to it as assurance, others as expertise. What do you believe truly sets things apart? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm eager to hear what you have to say. If this tale resonated with you, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and activate notifications by tapping the bell icon. Prepare yourself for an unforgettable journey ahead. Until we meet again.